Hello again. Off we go for a little wander. Conker update on the tree. Lovely. Well, this is kind of another test for the phone today, but whereas yesterday I was doing lots of I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that and I'm using this setting. Not doing any of that today. I'm simply going out and having a normal walk, like I've done millions of times, to normal places, just to see how it compares, using the same settings kind of as I would on the old phone. So we'll kick off with a quick lap of Mules Park. It's quite a windy one today, if you can hear it. Then again, it was a really windy one yesterday, and the phone blocked most of it out automatically, which is marvellous. I didn't trust the idea of some automatic wind blocker that I couldn't sort of switch on and off, but to be fair, it did work well. That chap we were talking to on the bridge, the other YouTuber, how it picked up what he was saying, I don't know, because we had microphones on, directed at us. And it was windy as anything. I thought, I'm not going to be able to use this, but no, hear pretty much everything he says. Excellent. Of course, the real test will be down on the Seawall when I come out of Mules Park, where the real wind is. But all good. This has all been cleared back considerably, all up along here, making this very open now, which looks a lot better. No water flowing today. One thing I do like on this phone though is the colours seem a little bit better than on the old one, especially the reds, because my car is actually cherry red. Whenever I film it, like on the camera though, on my old camera, it always looks like a muted pink. Likewise, the Gaze Creamery, the van outside, and the paintwork on the windows always looks a bit muted in the other ones, but in the one I saw yesterday, or took yesterday, very pleased with that, very pleased with that. Lovely rich red, smashing. And it looking good up here. Remember, a couple of years ago, that was just completely empty. Nothing in that section. Beautiful. Of course, there's the pond with the fishing, if they're there. You can't tell underneath the duckweed. There's the Ganera, and at the top of the dell, away from the water features. Of course, there's the community garden, which will probably be active later on today, 12 to 2ish, because it is Sunday. Smashing. Now, Julia got in touch with me last night. Thanks, Julia. And told me about what she'd been doing with her grandsons, Callum and Cabin. And she's taken them to see the SS Great Britain in Bristol. And she's taken them many times. Here's a picture of the inside. And here's a shot of Brunel showing the ubiquitous cigar, which was airbrushed out of the photos in the Teignmouth Museum. Crazy. Well, thanks for those. I know they had a lovely time. I expect you did too. Mucho appreciationos. Also, should I forget, Callum will be 12 on the 29th of August. Lovely. There's a tree fellow over there. Hello, tree fella. Oh, plenty of birdies. Little feeder there. That's been cut down. I expect there's a decent reason. There we are, that's where it came off from. And the one next to it, of course. And just to clarify, the wooden doggo was getting a coat of varnish or wood stain or something last time I saw him. I thought there was someone painting something on that rock, but that must have been where he's keeping all his stains. But yes, he's had a nice coating of preservative and a new bandana made by Gary's Missus, I think, which is available from the Devon Sandbox in town. There's our 5 trees, where there's actually 6, but any angle you look at them from, unless you go in between them, you can only ever see 5. One of Teignmouth's peculiarities. It would appear I've got to leave a little bit longer before I start talking, I think, on this one from when I press the button. Not sure yet, we'll find that out later. And on to the little lookout place, where, as we now know, there's like a stone mural of a robin just hiding here around the corner. There we go. Lovely. Oh look, the weak bridge sign has somehow fallen down, leaving the view. Excellent. Well done to whoever did that. Much appreciated. A little bit of genius that is. Drop it down so it's still technically visible for anyone in a car, but it's not blocking the view. Now this will be a real test up here without the wind blocker on, or without having a wind blocker. I'll really be amazed if it can do something with this. So I know there's times when I shout in my videos, Mum says, "Why are you shouting?" I say, "Well, because it was so loud, you know, I couldn't hear myself over the wind." She said, "What wind?" So I wonder if it'll be the same in this. So I'll have my usual pan around, 5 times zoom. There we go. Busy seafront. Can't say busy beach because it's not that many people, or no beach there for people to go on. There's the activity at the bean, not many people outside because of the wind, and there's a lot of activity down there with the lifeguards. Well, here's a real test. Blowing a gale, can barely hear myself talk. I'll be amazed if it picks this up and just leaves my voice. I'll be absolutely amazed. Yeah, it's windy seafront. Anyway, wind or no wind, shall we crack on with Kevin's pictures for today from his private collection? Why not? As usual, here's the page. Lovely. Here's the top one in close-up. Here's the other one. Lovely. That's Kev's pick for the day. Cheers, Kev. Much appreciated, mate. Much appreciated. First train of the day. Bit of a distance between us. But what you gonna do? Lobster pots washed up down there on the beach. Well, this certainly is a test for the wind blocking capabilities of the phone. Whee! And there goes Barry, who we met the other day. Remember? Just met up with him, his son, and their children are down now, so they're waiting for him further along the seafront. Lovely. Happy train indeed. Made me jump, that did. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Shouldn't have stopped filming, should I? Just my luck. In fairness, I don't think I'm going to go all the way along to Rufus today. I've certainly had the wind test I wanted. So I'm going to turn round in a sec. I'm just going to get some close-up shots of the waves on the back of Spray Point. There we go, 10 times zoom. Lovely. Well, I just reviewed a little bit of the footage in my earphones, and to be honest with you, it doesn't seem too bad at all wind-wise, which is absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Obviously I need to be out the wind properly to hear without the pollution, but even with the wind blowing around me now, I couldn't hear very much of it on the audio, and my voice was fairly clear. That's fantastic. Maybe it's a trade-off between it being a little bit more bumpy when I walk and better audio and better visuals and better colours. I think we've made our decision. Well, there we go, a slightly muted walk on the wall. As I say, it's quite possible, you might think, what wind? Quite possible, hopeful, but yes, with the wind that was going on, that's why I didn't go all the way up there. Anyway, it is what it is. Doing this in voiceover. Jane sent me this last night. It's fantastic. 1895 Guide to Teignmouth. Believe it or not, there's the cover. And all sorts of stuff in there, like adverts like that for the Royal Library, which is Smith's now, which you'll be able to look at. General stuff about Teignmouth. As you can see, it's all fully readable as well. This is a PDF, which I'm going to link you to. So you'll be able to look at all this at your leisure. Some stuff about the churches. That's St Michael's, and I think that's St James's. Yes, West Teignmouth Church Tower. Of course, you've got the Seawall, naturally. Couldn't miss that. Again, all readable. And a little bit of where I'm sat now. There we are, that's the top pitch. I'm just up from there. But anyway, check that out on my site. It's right at the top. Easy to get to. Just go to billsphoneTeignmouth.com and you'll see it straight away. Click on it and it's free. Lovely. Now, do you remember Frank and Joyce from Canada, who I met up with about a week or so ago? We sat down there and had a chat. Well, they safely got back to Canada, and Joyce was telling me about some lilies that she's very proud of in her garden. And they had some pictures, and she said they'd send them to me. So without further ado, when they got home and they got over their jet lag, they did indeed follow up and send me the pictures. So here's Joyce outside her house in Vancouver Island, Canada, with her lilies. Aren't they lovely? And she says Mum would really enjoy the smell of those, and I'm sure she would. I'm sure they smell lovely, Joyce. So thanks to you, Frank, much appreciated. Take care and see you again next time you're over. Can't do my usual shot of the flags to identify because they're all wrapped around the flagpoles with the wind, so you can't really see what they are. As you know, David, hello David, likes to send in postcards to use on the channel, which is always lovely, as does Jane, etc. But here's the biggie. He sent me this one. There we are. Beautiful. Teignmouth at night. Crazy. And also part of a bigger Devon one. There we are. So that's one way to make a cheap postcard with no copyright problems and sell it in your shop for 50p. Lovely. And we're just going to head briefly along the seafront in order to head to the co-op to get some ham for Mum. That's all she wants, just some ham. So some ham she will have. Here we are, the seafront on the new phone. Let's go to our usual place, see what the view looks like on this blustery day. Here we are, 10 times zoom today instead of 5. Nice and clear. Back to 5. There we go. Another real test of the wind blocker. Windy. Now this is more a test of if I can hold the phone still. This is a nice yardstick. Now let's see if it made the braking green. That's not normally green, is it? 17, cloudy, lovely. I expect that will look a lot more red than it normally does, which is nice. That's funny really, because while it's not actually wet per se, there's like a film built up on my glasses, so I'm going to have to stop to clean them, and I better give the camera lenses a wipe as well, because very good chance it's built up on those. Don't know where it's come from, it's quite unusual. Must be something in the air. Here we go, another lovely postcard from David. Lined up pretty well if I say so myself. Here we go. No date on that per se, but a very, very nice one indeed. So thank you very much, David. Smashing. Now I'm going to get myself off of this windy seafront, go down, get Mum her ham. Then of course I'll be getting my dinner from Nick's, and Barry, who I met with earlier. So he's taking the family in there, see if we can get a seat later. So that'll be good, they'll enjoy that, it's lovely food. It's fascinating to know if this is pretty steady, because it's shaking around in my hands. Look forward to seeing this later. There we are down the main street, out the wind at last. Head to the co-op. Smashing. Ham achieved. Excellent. Start wandering back now. Still got to do the lounge for when they get there. Get all the stuff out that you can break. Remove stuff for the grandson. Next, I'll be picking up my lunch later. Lovely. Well, I think that was pretty much a fair test. I know what to expect with that. Apart from it being a little bit sort of different in the lighting today, a bit dim and misty. Yeah, I've done pretty much all the stuff that I can compare it to, that I know what it normally looks like. The key things will be the wind blocker and the stability, and of course the bounce, whether it's tolerable. And looking forward to finding that out. Of course, you'll have watched this video on your big screens. You'll already know and formed your own opinions. But as of me, I haven't seen it yet. So at this point, I don't know. So there we go. We shall call that a day. You're a day. And get up home to see this footage. Don't forget to check out that Teignmouth guide. Completely free to view on billsphoneTeignmouth.com. Should be right at the top when you go there. Just click on it. It'll take you to it. Really detailed, really good. Thanks for that, Jane. Much appreciate you sending me it. Absolutely lovely. And with that, I love you and leave you. Go home and see family and see what this video's come out like. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.